Welcome back to Last Off Sports Talk. Today's Saturday, April 11th, 2026, and on episode 113, I'm with Kean Kropp and Carson Kropp. I'm Cody Kropp. We're the Draft Brothers per usual viewing, and today we'll be talking about our top 5 corners in the 2026 NFL Draft. You do love corners. This is your bag, baby. So we watched them all. We're going to give you our scouting reports and give you our top 5. Starting with 5, our number 5 is D'Angelo Pons from Indiana, 5'9", 182 pounds with 29 3/8 arms. In 2025, he played 15 games. He had 61 total tackles, 44 solo, 4 tackles for loss, 11 passes defended, 2 picks, 89.5 coverage grade. Carson had him 5. I had him 4. Kean had him 2.
Woo! I'm fired up. Woo. Mostly because I love D'Angelo Pons, and you guys are not high enough on him.
Sure,
so,
maybe.
Let me tell you.
Let me know.
This guy can take off like a rocket. Very impressive quickness that he generates immediately. Packs a punch, too, with his tackles despite his small stature. 169 total tackles over his 3 starting seasons in college with a career missed tackle rate of just 6.1% as a corner.
Golly.
That's really good.
I thought they didn't tackle.
Yeah, this guy tackles. He is a dog who always wants in on the action. It's like how it hurts more to get hit by something small and more dense that's traveling at the same speed as something bigger and less dense.
Yeah,
you know?
Baseball.
Yes.
Give me a softball over a golf ball all day.
100%.
Yes, exactly.
Golf balls hurt now.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, I comped it, like I'm talking about like a baseball traveling at 50 miles per hour versus a basketball at 50 miles per hour. Getting hit with that baseball is obviously going to hurt more.
Yeah,
Same thing with the golf ball.
Yeah.
100%.
So that's what D'Angelo Pons' tackle is like, I would imagine. He's also got great maneuverability to be able to change directions on a dime. A low center of gravity plus quick feet really feed into that. He's also got plenty of speed to stick with wide receivers on deep routes. Sometimes he passes them by and has the quick hips to be able to turn back toward the ball as it's on its way, toying with the wide receiver, so he can get into position to make a play on the ball like an offensive player. I think he's a fighter at the catch point with thrashing hands to rip at the ball. I know he's not going to win at vertical jump balls, but 33 pass deflections over his college career is impressive. Also, 3 full college seasons of starting experience with at least 700 defensive snaps in each, which is really cool. He's one of the guys who came from James Madison in 2023 with Sig. And he spent 2024 and 2025 in Indiana. And this guy can also play on special teams and shine with his movement abilities and fire. He's blocked 2 punts in his college career. So
you said it very well. The things that stuck out to me the most were obviously the strong tackle ability, and he wraps up really well, especially for his size. You said it with the total tackles. Yeah, he had 51, 55, and 61 in his 3 seasons. In college, definitely plays larger than he is. No doubt about it. Confident and competitive. And I think that he reads the play really well and gets to that ball carrier quickly. He is slippery getting through those blockers to get to the action.
This is a guy that I also love. I know I don't have him high enough, but I'm really just discounting his size. But
me too.
To go along with his pros, all throughout Indiana's championship run, this guy was making plays. It's like you kept hearing D'Angelo Pons. Every play it seemed like he was doing something incredible. Plays with, like you said, ton of fight, effort, instincts in the run game. Gets to the ball carrier behind the line of scrimmage a lot. And once the ball's in the air, this guy's a ball hawk, and he's great at turning, making a play on the ball with his great ball skills. But to con that, his small size does make him susceptible to being outmanned in 50-50 balls. And even at the top of the route when he gets physical, he can get displaced and jammed by bigger receivers. So even though he does have that great ball skill ability and great turning and locating the ball, he can just – I see him as a candidate of like – this is a prime candidate for the You Got Mossed section, like on ESPN or whatever does it, because it's like it's kind of like getting dunked on. Okay, so getting dunked on, it's like if you dunk on someone and they're just like kind of standing under the hoop, giving themselves up. It's like, okay, you dunked on him, but like, is he really trying? You know, the best dunked on things are like when they go up to try to block
jumps
and you just put it on their head. That's exactly what he's gonna do. He's gonna turn around, locate the ball, go up to get it, and then just get mossed right out from over him,
right in front of his face. Probably, yeah.
So he's susceptible to that type of stuff, but everywhere else, I love the guy.
I completely agree with you in the cons there. I wanted to like him more, but all that kept running around my head was Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, A.J. Brown, even like those big receivers that are just
Mike Evans
even. Yeah, it's like all these big receivers in the NFL. it's just like, oh man, I'm a little slightly concerned about what this guy's going to look like, because this guy's coming in. He's going to be one of, if not your top dog. So he's going to get the number one receivers or very good number twos. And that's what makes it so concerning. And I don't really like, this is size related too, but I don't really like how he has to tackle when he's in space. He kind of turns into what you'd call like a drag down tackler, not really a hitter. He just kind of latches and it's got to drag him down. Really doesn't have enough mass to do it any other way. So that's kind of concerning.
Yeah, he's not going to be your press man coverage corner.
Yeah.
You know that drafting him
Yep.
because he's small.
Yep.
Another con that I didn't have too many cons for this guy because I really like him, but I think he's going to be limited to just playing in the slot in the NFL due to his small size. He might get a shot to start outside because he is so fiery and plays with so much energy and fight, and maybe he can stick up for himself, but I think slot is probably where he's going to find his home. But I don't even find that to be a big con because I think he can be great in the slot with his skill set.
Definitely.
His willingness to tackle, his quickness, I think that is all there for him to be a great slot corner. Ready for comps?
Yes.
I comped him to Mario. Let me take you guys back.
Okay.
Sure.
So Mario Super Sluggers, the Wii
Oh,
game.
Love
great
that game.
game.
All right. Well, D'Angelo Pons is Mario's fireball pitch. That signature pitch, small, fiery, quick, fast, and it hurt to get hit by it.
Yeah,
100%.
My comp is I kind of went out there a little bit.
Okay.
So as a twitchy, athletic, undersized, but scrappy corner that also makes plays on special teams, albeit in a different way. My comp for him is a better coverage version of Marcus Jones.
I love it.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
The movement ability. Yeah,
definitely.
I love that.
Yep.
Our number 4 consensus ranked corner we got here is Jermod McCoy from Tennessee, 6'1", 188 pounds with 31 1/4 inch arms. In 2024, he played 13 games. He had 44 total tackles, 26 solo, half tackle for loss, 9 passes defended, 4 picks, 89.6 coverage grade. Kean had him 4, I had him 5, Carson had him 2.
Let me just start off by saying this. I don't like this guy as much as a cornerback 2, as much as you should like your cornerback 2.
Okay.
That's a good way to start.
But something about him just draws me towards him as like this guy looks and plays like a corner. He's got that long frame. He can disrupt passing lanes and take long explosive strides. He's long and physical at the catch point to disrupt the receiver and battle for the ball. And then he's got smooth hips and he's explosive out of his turns, and he bursts quickly to close gaps and make a play on the ball. And that's all the pros I have for him. Now, I know, as a corner 2, I should have more, but I have serious cons with this guy, but it's just like, I feel like he can be so much better than his tape showed. Like, something about him is like his burst and his length and his physicality, all like, I don't have a comp for him, but it's like he feels like Jordan Tyson as a corner.
Okay.
It's like he has bad moments,
That's good.
but like his good moments are so good that it's like, oh my gosh, this guy's like, I comped Jordan Tyson to George Pickens. This guy feels like George Pickens is a corner. It's like he has those bonehead moments. It's like, why are you doing that? Like, you know you shouldn't be doing that, and then it somehow works out, and it's like, okay, that was only working out because he's in college. But I'll let you guys go now.
All right, other pros that I had, I think that you said about his length, he's really great at using his length. I think his hand, the way he uses his hands, I think is excellent. Hand placement in those split seconds of at the catch point, gets his hand between the wide receiver's hands to knock the ball loose before the wide receiver gains control. I think the ball skills are very good to turn some of his own tipped passes into interceptions. Sometimes there was one play where he did that. He tipped the ball up to himself where he was like falling to the ground and it fell like in his lap. Now that's kind of luck. But I kind of looked at it as skill. I was like,
concentration.
No. Yeah, concentration. I also think he's aggressive at the catch point. He launches himself in the ball's direction with strength and fire. He meets the wide receiver with some tenacity. And I agree with you that I think his long speed looks smooth, effortless. It helps him keep right beside wide receivers on deep routes.
Yeah, the only things I want to add that I like the most about him, but like what you guys said, quick feet, very smooth hips to change direction well. And one thing that I don't know if you guys mentioned or not, but I liked his patience. If you watch him play, he will patiently watch and analyze what the receiver's doing and wait to see till he knows for sure before like opening his hips. Like he has a very nice patience. He doesn't just jump the gun immediately and have him to be flipping his hips back and forth and then getting bodied. And yeah, like you said, aggressive at the catch point. I said smothering at the catch point. Cons, unfortunately, only played those 2 college seasons. He tore his ACL and missed the whole 3rd season, which is why we gave the 2024 stats. Obviously, I think that if he gets in a bad position, makes a boneheaded decision, like Carson said, he gets grabby, and that could be an issue with some of these ref crews in the league. We've seen
called for 8 penalties in 2024, which was tied for the 3rd most in the FBS.
Yeah, not good. And he's smothering at the catch point, like I said. But as far as tackling ability, I'd like to see him be a little bit more physical. I think with his size, he could be. Like I talked about D'Angelo Pons being a drag down tackler. That's kind of related to size more than likely. But with Jamal McCoy's size, I think he can be more than just a drag down tackler like he is right now.
I said the same things and I agree. I think that throughout the route, he's not very sticky. And he can get faked or knocked off balance by receivers, which leads into that, like, what are you doing type of moment that I talked about earlier. And it seems like he almost doesn't really care about being close to the receiver until the quarterback's ready to throw. And then he shows off his athletic ability and bursts and is like, closes ground so damn quickly and gets his hand in there. And that's why I love the guy so much. It's like he has that burst. He has that hand ability. It's just like, be more sticky and care more throughout the route to stick to the guy rather than just waiting and then bursting out. Maybe it's because he's trying to not get burnt or whatnot, but in the NFL, I think it may be too late at that point when he's off the guy. I don't think he's going to have that same time to close. But in college, like I said, you rely on explosiveness and athleticism to catch up and make a last-second play. And, I think that with NFL timing and quickness and everything, that's going to really exploit this. But the upside's there. And then, like Cody said, I wrote that his downhill tackling ability doesn't match up with his size. I think with his size, he could be so much better as a tackler, and with those long arms, he should be able to wrap up anybody. But he just doesn't really seem to love being in run support.
Yeah, I said that I love his hands. I love his hands at the catch point. I should have been more specific because there were times where, oh my gosh, I was like almost screaming at the screen. Like I have notes in here where I'm like all caps yelling.
You got pissed from watching his
so pissed.
Same. Good. That's why. Yeah, it's hard
because he lacks the physicality and toughness at the line of scrimmage and press coverage. There are no punches or arm bars of his that appear consistently in his tape. There is no jarring of the wide receiver right off the snap. He allows too much space right off the bat, which should never happen in press coverage. This is where I started screaming. I said, that's the whole point of press coverage.
See you later, Mike.
Why are you allowing so much space right off the bat? And then just you're drifting off the wide receiver because you know that you're quick enough and bursty enough and fast enough to get back at the catch point.
It's like he doesn't care.
No.
Yeah. He doesn't care until he has to.
Yes, exactly. Like I think that I don't know if it's laziness or
patience. I said patience.
I don't see it as patience. I don't want the patience.
Sure, but he makes the right decision, or he's physically gifted enough to make up for it. Yeah,
and it worked in college.
Sure, it does.
And I guess I'm getting mad at him for something that made him successful in college. And he would, if he didn't tear his ACL, he would maybe be the first corner off the board in the draft. Yeah, and maybe he still will be.
You never know, because
some teams are going to see this differently than we are, but I don't know if it's laziness or patience or slow to react as he's waiting for the play to work in his direction while he's in zone coverage. But it looks like he just trusts his crash down quickness a lot, and I have fears, just like Carson said, that with the timing and the quickness and the speed, the velocity of throws in the NFL and the smarts of quarterbacks, he's going to get absolutely cooked, especially in press coverage. I want him to play. I think he's going to be, even in man, like it's just aggravating.
But to put a pro to this, I think in zone, that athleticism and trigger
it's great.
Downhill to close, it's going to be excellent in zone.
Right.
But in man, it's like, come on. He plays man coverage like he wants to be in zone.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he
most
does.
of the NFL plays zone now,
They
unless
Which
do.
is
like,
good for him.
Yeah.
which is good for him.
Great
But like
for him.
the Steelers will not be drafting this guy.
No.
Like the
Definitely
Steelers
not.
want to be a big
Bullying
press man
team,
coverage bullying team, and
Yeah.
he is not that at all. So he's going to be some people's cup of tea, and other teams might not even be on the draft board.
True. Yep.
My comp for him is a cocky lone wolf. I don't really know. Yeah. I don't really know how Jermon McCoy is as a person, so I can't speak to that.
Sure.
But
yeah.
he plays like a guy who thinks he's all that and can just rely on his God-given gifts to succeed. He's feisty and fast, sure, but is that enough for the NFL?
I don't know.
My comp, I said it earlier. Well, first I summed him as long athletic corner that closes ground with explosive strides rather than gluing to the receiver throughout. And I said my comp earlier that I just thought of on the fly. It's George Pickens.
Goodness, it is. Yeah.
Just like you said, it's like he's cocky. It's like he knows he's so damn good that he doesn't have to try until he has to. That's like George. And he makes these incredible plays, but it's also like when the play's not coming towards him, he's lazy. On the backside of the play, he's not even running his route.
Not
He's not
blocking.
even covering the guy, not blocking, not fulfilling his assignment. But when he's targeted, daggum, get that guy the ball more. That's Jermod McCoy.
Our number 3 consensus ranked I did it again. Our number 3 consensus ranked corner, we've got Colton Hood from Tennessee, 6 foot even, 193 pounds with 31 3/8 inch arms. In 2025, he played 12 games. He had 50 total tackles, 34 solo, 4.5 tackles for loss, 8 passes defended, 1 pick, an 80.3 coverage grade. Kean had him 5, and Carson and I had him up at 3. So first thing for me is I really love this guy's physicality and attitude. I just love that in the corner when you got that type of just physical toughness to you and that type of the way your brain runs. You just want to be physical. Good enough speed to keep up on deep balls, I think. Decently built. I mean, 6 foot even, 193 pounds. That's pretty okay. I like that he's a hard hitter. In run support, he's great. He really asserts himself into position for like jump ball catches. He really just makes sure he is right there and being aggressive. And he uses a really strong initial punch, like on the receiver's release, to kind of try to throw him off balance a little bit, that I really like too.
Yeah, this guy is the Tennessee corner that replaced Jermon McCoy last season. And Colton Hood has some of what I want Jermon McCoy to have. But he brings, to me, I wouldn't call it boneheadedness, because I'm sure he's a very intelligent guy. But it's like he still has that one flaw that's just like, come on. And it kind of pissed me off watching him.
All right.
But I still love the guy so much that I'm thinking about making him my guy.
Okay.
I have to evaluate. But like Cody said, his play strength is great. Yeah. And his effort is also great through all aspects of the game. Whether he's in press man, run support, into the catch point, he just bullies the receiver all throughout. He has good enough speed to keep up with the rundown receivers in a straight line, like Cody said as well. I saw that. Strong burst out of his stance once he diagnoses the play. Like when he sees that it's a screen pass, it's a run play or whatever, and the receiver's trying to block him, he like rips off him like an edge rusher. He even swims him sometimes, and he charges downhill. Very strong downhill tackler once he gets there. And he's like a safety in run support almost. He comes downhill so damn hard with so much confidence and so much tackling ability. He hits the guy, and you would think it was CJGJ. This guy is an incredible tackler from the corner position.
Yeah, 6.6% missed tackle rate in 2025 is, again, very good for a corner.
Yeah.
He does it all textbook, man. He's not, like, he's wrapping up, and he's doing what a coach, like, would fist pump at. Like, yeah, son, that boy. The dude wants contact. He knows he can impact the play if he's using his upper body to bully the offensive player. That goes for in run support, and you guys said it. The dude uses his arms the whole way down the field. Like, that is how you play press man coverage. The dude never lets go. But I mean, not like grabbing, but the dude never has his hands off the wide receiver.
Always has leverage against the receiver.
Yes. He's always shoving. He's hand fighting with the wide receiver the whole way down the field, and I love that.
Opposite Jermon McCoy.
The opposite.
Yeah.
It's so aggravating to watch Jermon McCoy. And then Colton Hood was like, okay. For me, at least. I know you said we're going to get into something that obviously aggravates you.
Yeah.
But yeah, the smooth speed, 4.44 40-yard dash. It looked like plenty enough on film. He could blanket wide receivers on deep routes where there aren't too many sharp cuts. But Carson, I want to hear what makes you ticked off.
So what ticked me off about this guy is right off the snap, this guy's feet are so inactive and so stagnant.
Yes.
He
Strong punch.
It's like
lazy feet.
It's like he wants the receiver to touch him so much.
All
then
right.
he just stands there, doesn't move his feet, and like once the receiver like gets to him, he's like, all right, now I can go because I'm able to touch this guy. It's like he doesn't want to backpedal at all. He doesn't even want to shuffle his feet.
No.
He stands there like staring at the guy like they haven't even snapped the ball yet. And then when the receiver gets to him, he's like, oh, time to go. It's like just be a little more active off the line, mirror the guy a little bit better, and you can be even more incredible and press man than you already are. It's like you're so damn physical. You're getting away with this because it's in college, similar to Jamon McCoy. He's kind of cutting corners, in my opinion, because he's in college. In the NFL, these guys are going to take your stagnant feet and just burst around you. Be more active off the line, and then the rest of the game is pretty damn good. Just it lets the receiver make a move on him before he reacts much at all, and then he also takes some time to diagnose run plays. I said that once he sees it's a run play, he can rip off the corner. It's kind of the same thing. He stands there until he knows for sure it's a run play. Then he's like, time to go. But I like that fast trigger. The trigger just needs to come sooner in the play. And then later in the route, I just think he lacks some stop on the dime and quick change of direction ability to stay glued to receivers throughout the route, which is why I think he's always trying to use his physicality and strength to cover that up by staying close to him and kind of having that hand on the hip to stay glued.
The only thing I'll add, because I completely agree with you there, the only thing I'll add that I saw is, or that I'd like to see from him is I'd like to see him ball track a little bit better once he's downfield. Sometimes he just not look back for it when I think he clearly has time because he's so sticky to the receiver. I think he is in a good enough position. Like, let's turn around and track the ball a little bit, see if you can make some pass breakups or even picks and see what happens. But that's the only thing I'll add. But I completely agree with you about all his off-the-line movement.
Yes, completely agree. He lacks the quick twitch. Quick twitch, did I say that? Yeah. Quick twitch.
Nailed it.
He lacks it big time. And I gave him a little bit of grace. I said it was maybe like average at best because it's tough to compare him to guys that we're about to talk about. Avion Terrell and Mansour Lane have elite acceleration.
Yeah.
And it is insane to watch those guys move right off the bat. And here's a quote that sounds exactly like what Carson just said that I said. When he's in press coverage up on the line of scrimmage, he stands flat-footed and waits to take off until the wide receiver is even with him. It's like he wants to chase. He wants to touch
it's
him.
a scare tactic.
I don't know.
Kind of like how what's his name just stands in the backfield like this.
Oh,
Just normal.
Ashton
Genty.
Yeah.
It's just like, is this guy like actually gonna do anything? And then he just runs
Yeah.
you over.
Yep.
Maybe it's a scare tactic.
And I think that he has the tackling prowess to play in the slot, but he lacks all the quickness that you need. This guy would get absolutely cooked by slot wide receivers like Ladd McConkey all day long.
Oh, my.
So I don't think he can play in the slot.
Yeah, neither do I.
I'd be like, okay, you can tackle. Let's put you in the slot. And then the first day of practice, he's like,
Done.
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yes, a UFC fighter who grew up wrestling, so he wants to take every match down to the floor. He lacks the quickness and explosion to win a boxing match, but he can beat you down in the muck.
I like that. That's good.
My comp is as a strong press man, bully corner that plays with great strength and adequate athleticism. Tackles like a safety. I see him as a faster version of Kamari Lassiter.
Oh,
wow.
You better live up to the hype. Cody
Better. I
loves
love
Lassiter.
yeah. Our number 2 consensus ranked corner, we got Avion Terrell from Clemson, 5'11", 186 pounds with 31-inch arms. In 2025, he played 12 games. He had 48 total tackles, 30 solo, 4.5 tackles for loss, 9 passes defended, 0 picks, 76.9 coverage grade. Kean had him 3, Carson had him 4, and I had him 2.
Cody, go ahead and start.
Okay, sure.
You had him 2.
Yeah, I did have him 2. He's just like Kean kind of previously mentioned about the speed. This guy's got it. He's a very athletic, smooth mover. It just looks easy to him. He's athletic enough and enough size to play inside or outside, which is incredibly nice to have. He's a solid tackler. He's got a little bit of hard-hitting ability in there, too. He accelerates incredibly quickly, like Kean mentioned, and he's very just – I didn't know how to put it. Excuse me, but I put that he's tough and irritating to the receiver at the catch point. Like, he's just always there. He's close the whole entire route, incredibly sticky. So I imagine that's incredibly irritating to a receiver trying to get open. He can even get in there and run support. I was impressed with that part of his game. And he's I'm sure it's kind of a learned thing that obviously you do in the NFL and even in college now for years since it's so common. But as far as like punching the ball and going for the ball, he's obviously learned how to do that. He forced 8 fumbles in his collegiate career, which is super impressive.
Yeah, as I said, aforementioned, I think he's got really good acceleration to take off downhill to make a tackle or take off after changing directions with the wide receiver's route. The grit at the catch point to rip at the wide receiver until he breaks the ball out of his hands. 15 pass breakups over the past 2 seasons is really nice. Also throws his body through the air with aggressive Superman dives to get his hands in the passing lane just before the ball reaches the wide receiver. I like him as a blitzer, too. He's got some surprising strength and fakes to get past blockers on his way to the quarterback. 3 sacks in 2025, which is kind of rare as an outside cornerback.
Definitely, yeah.
And, yeah, Cody mentioned it. The angry and active hands at all times. 8 forced fumbles over the past 2 seasons. Willing tackler. And I think that he could honestly project as an aggressive slot cornerback in the NFL. I think he has that capability.
Mm-hmm. I agree and said the same thing that you guys said. I just add 3 things for pros. Throughout the route, I noticed that he stays very low and well-balanced and attached, which I love. In transition, he's very smooth, flips his hips, or come downhill on a run, it's all smooth. And then Keane was talking about earlier how teams like to play a lot of zone coverage. In zone coverage, this guy's great at reading the quarterback to jump routes, and then also, kind of like Keane said, this guy will blow up the receiver in zone coverage. He'll come from the other side of the field, lay out to spear tackle him, and just shot right to the ribs when he tries to catch it, timed up perfectly. And this is another corner that I know I should have higher, and I like him more than my ranking of 4 suggests. But it's another guy that I'm just a little scared because he has a smaller size that I think may struggle in 50-50 balls. And then while he is a willing and aggressive tackler, I think that his size is gonna make him struggle to tackle some NFL running backs like Derrick Henry, and I think that could be cause for concern in run support. I think top end speed for him is a little bit lacking for the fastest receivers in the league. Like, these guys are incredibly fast, but that's another good reason to send him into the slot. And then I don't think he's super explosive to keep up through quick route breaks. Like, I think it's when it's on his own terms, he's super explosive, like in zone. Like, when he diagnoses it, he's gone. But I think mirroring routes in man coverage, he just lacks that explosiveness to stay stuck to him.
Wow. Boom.
Wow.
Yeah, I did see kind of what you said, too. I had less cons for him. Obviously, he's my 2, but I definitely would agree that I'd love to see him put on a little more muscle mass to help with those 50-50 balls. And sometimes to me, it seemed like he kind of was more reactive than anticipatory.
Anticipative, or maybe.
Anticipativeness.
Anticipator.
Anticipativity is less than reactionarity.
Reactivity, I think.
Greater than... He reacts more than he anticipates.
Yeah. Yes. I completely agree with that. I think he can be seen standing flat-footed for a few seconds at the beginning of some plays as he's trying to understand what's going on. It didn't really burn him in college, but the NFL is a new speed with plays developing even faster than ACC football. So, also, he injured his hamstring during on-field drills at the Combine on February 27th. He had to sit out of Clemson's main pro day on March 12th because of it. So he had a private pro day on March 30th, and he re-aggravated his hamstring injury on the first run of it.
Yeah,
Never
good.
We've learned over the years, you're saying, oh no, with other players that nagging soft tissue injuries can be concerning. But I do think the tools are there, and you can see how, this guy's brother's in the NFL playing corner, and this guy definitely shows the skills that he can do it too.
Yep.
I've ranked 4, and that's pretty high considering I historically hate my teams, Clemson guys and Penn State guys. So
You're
having
right.
the 4 is like, dang, okay.
Yeah, he's actually got some skill.
Pretty good.
Yeah. All right.
Comps?
Yes. a mean cat who growls, chases, and attacks people.
Puss in Boots.
Puss in Boots, baby. The takeoff quickness, like he's digging into the ground with claws. The feistiness at the catch point to scratch and claw at the wide receiver until he rips the ball out. And the crazy dives through the air to break up passes at the last second. He's looking like he's risking one of his 9 lives.
I like that.
I
like
unfortunately
that.
do not have a comp, but yours is very good.
Thank you,
Love
sir.
it. Our number 1 consensus ranked corner we got for you here today is Mansour Delane from LSU. 6 foot, 187 pounds, with 30-inch arms. In 2025, he played 11 games. He had 45 total tackles with 26 solo, 0 tackles for loss, 11 passes defended, 2 picks, 90.7 coverage grade, and we all had him up at 1.
Yeah, for all of us to have him at 1, that really says something about a guy.
He's
'Cause
good.
Our
He's pretty
rankings
good.
are all over the place more often than not, so for us to all have him at 1, like I said, that means something. As an athlete, this guy is very athletic and smooth. He has quickness and burst to close space in a hurry. He has the top-end speed to run down any receiver. And then as a corner, he gets in a low, powerful stance and press coverage to stay in the receiver's hip pocket throughout the entire route. And I mean hip pocket. This guy is right to him, running the route with the guy. Stays very well balanced through contact in the route to not allow any separation. And then his zone coverage. He's instinctive, and he's able to close space quickly. It's kind of like he knows what route the guy's running before he even runs it, and he closes down on it so damn fast. Aggressive and physical at the catch point to force the incompletion. And then in the run game, he's a willing tackler ready to lower the shoulder.
Yes, absolutely. I think that even if he had, like Carson touched on his long speed, I think he's also just got great ability to change speeds mid-play with the knowledge to know when to hit the gas real quick to break on the ball. His elite quickness in the short area gets him back into plays at the last second. The quick feet are there, as Carson said. I think he's got strength to play press coverage, the choppy steps, twisting hips to be able to almost perfectly mirror the wide receiver off the line of scrimmage while keeping his torso facing the wide receiver really impressed me. He really reminded me of somebody who I'm going to say as my pro, which makes me really like this guy a lot. But the dude is just, he's so comfortable in man coverage and solid in zone coverage too. He's always in the hip pocket of that wide receiver. He also makes some surprisingly hard tackles in run defense where he crashes down and drives his shoulder into the ball carrier. There's a lot to like about this guy.
I agree with you guys. The only thing I want to add that caught my eye was because he is so sticky, this caught my eye. He's on the receiver, but he seems to always keep an eye on the quarterback. It was really, really impressive. He's able to see that, but yet stay tied up with that, pretty much, hand fighting. But it was just really impressive the way he plays. That's the only thing I want to add.
Yeah, good. He's using his hands the whole way down the field to keep stay
feel.
on the hip. Yes.
Yeah.
And he got 0 penalties in 2025.
Yeah.
0.
0 penalties.
Wow.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, that's impressive because one of my cons, getting into our cons, his aggressive play style rides the line of pass interference or holding. So I think he's going to draw some flags in the NFL, just as all the best corners in the league do.
You got to push the line.
Yeah, the best corners are great at riding that line, and I think that he already has that down. I am shocked he had no penalties in 2025 because he's riding the line for sure.
Yeah.
And that goes to his favor. And then the only other con I have for him is just his thin frame and short arms.
Definitely.
Make him not only susceptible to physical corners, but I think it makes him not a reliable open field tackler that I wouldn't trust if it's one-on-one.
Sure. No, I completely agree with that. I don't have anything to add to that.
Yeah, onto that tackling thing that Carson just said. He usually tries to hit hard in run defense when he gets a chance, but he doesn't always wrap up the tightest, so he can slip down the ball carrier's ankles and just try to hang on for dear life. But he had a 10.6% missed tackle rate in 2025. And another con of mine that I have a funny feeling that his long speed to cover deep routes isn't always going to be enough in the NFL. He had a reported 4.38 40-yard dash at his pro day, which is timed by hand.
Yep.
So it's usually a little bit slower than that. I can just picture the faster wide receivers in the NFL like Jameson Williams or somebody like that getting a step or two or a half step on him on a go route. But I think his speed is still good. It's just not like the level of the guy I'm going to comp him to, which I comped him to Quinyon Mitchell with slightly less speed. I loved Quinyon Mitchell coming out, and I think that he's just so sticky. And Quinyon Mitchell did it at Toledo.
Yeah.
This guy did it at LSU. Here's my notes from my scouting report of Quinyon Mitchell before the 2024 draft that also really describe Mansour Delane. attacks the ball with aggressiveness with great timing to arrive at the receiver right as the ball arrives. Quick steps to keep up with the quicker and shiftier receivers. Very good closing speed to crash back to the ball. And he doesn't always wrap up when tackling. And he doesn't attack with as much aggressiveness at the tackle point as he does at the catch point. So,
Yeah.
but I think that this guy, I really saw a lot of Klingon Mitchell in him. So I'm really excited to see Mansfield Lane in the NFL.
I don't have a comp, but I see Quignon as well for sure.
Yep. All right, special shout-outs.
Yeah. Carson, did you want to talk
I'll
about
talk
trade?
about a different guy. You
Okay.
can have him.
I can talk about Traden Stukes?
Yeah.
Good. I like Traden Stukes. Out of Arizona, he's a slot corner. That's where he mostly played because he's got safety. I'm trying to get down to him. He's got safety experience too. He's 6'1", 190, 31 3/4 inch arms. He's long, fast, physical. He is a legit 4.33 40-yard dash long speed that you see on the field to easily mirror wide receivers on deep routes. If that wide receiver runs a route and allows Stukes to get up to his top speed as he chases, he will be contested for the entirety of that route. Just such great timing, takeoff, fight to break on passes, or attack the wide receiver right as the pass arrives. He gets his hands into position to grab interceptions or swat down passes thanks to these qualities of his. I think despite his length, he's so smooth turning his hips while he's roaming in coverage to bolt in any direction. I think once he wraps up a ball carrier, he turns his legs and drives the ball carrier backwards. He ensures the ball carrier gains no extra yards on him, and he has experience playing at slot corner, outside corner, and box safety. He was the starting slot corner for Arizona the past 3 seasons, and he had an injury-shortened season in 2024, but he began the next year but he began that 2024 year as the starting slot corner, so that's why I gave him 3 starting seasons, but it was actually like 2 and 4 games.
Yeah. Yep.
I agree with everything you said. Just an amazing athlete at corner. I'll just add that with all the athleticism, he's still a reliable tackler for the run game, which I love. This guy is the whole package.
Yep.
As far as cons go, he's a 6th-year senior who turns 25 in December.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, because he had a medical redshirt in 2024 after tearing his ACL in October during the 4th game of the season, I also think that his short area quickness is not nearly to the level of his long speed, but it's still above, around average.
Yeah.
But sometimes he really gets slowed down as he tries to maneuver around blockers at the line of scrimmage if he's trying to help and run support. He doesn't try to shoot gaps with aggression like he attacks wide receivers with aggression in the open field. And when he has to come to a complete stop to change directions or move laterally, it's not as easy for him because of his length. He's really got to chop his steps to stay balanced, which makes this a process that's a little bit slower for him.
Yeah.
I agree with the mostly linear speed and less lateral agility, and then just plays upright through his routes and upright as a tackler as well.
Yeah. So my comp for him is Kalen Bullock. He's a tall and slender slot corner / safety hybrid who boasts great speed and fluidity in coverage. But when he's tasked with moving laterally and keeping ball carriers in front of him in run defense, that's where his game is weaker. But I think there's definitely a role for the athlete that is Traden Stukes in the NFL because he's exciting whenever you watch his film.
Yep.
I agree with that, but no comp for me.
Who are you going to talk about? Who would you like
So
to
I'm going to talk about a guy that's similar to our defensive tackle episode. I'm going to talk about another project at corner because it's very clear how Kian views projects, and then it's very clear how I view projects. I think that projects deserve a number 8 overall ranking, and Kian thinks that they deserve a number 16 overall ranking. And for that, or for us, that guy is Davison Igbinosun out of Ohio State. This guy, 6'2", just under 33-inch arms, 189. He's got all the length that you can want from a corner. And with this excellent length, he utilized it very well to suffocate receivers in press coverage, battle and extend at the catch point, and wrap up tacklers. And when he's in position and coverage, there aren't many receivers that stand a chance. Plays with a hot motor that is eager to help out in the run game as well. I love this guy's potential. Kian, do you want to do cons before I...
Yeah, I saw the things that... He looks like a cornerback that the Steelers would love. This guy controls the rep if he gets his hands on the wide receiver, especially if he starts in press coverage. If he can get him to position in time, he's a menace in jump ball situations. He uses his length and swings his arms at the ball. He's also a I liked his length and wrap up as a tackler. 194 total tackles in his college career. And I also liked that he's a 4-year starter in college. 2022 at Ole Miss and 2023 through 2025 at Ohio State. But where I do not like him is that I think his acceleration or quickness are not his strong suits. Again, he's a corner that the Steelers would like. I think his long speed is below average. 4.45 40-yard dash feels right for him. If he can't get hands on the wide receiver at any point throughout the route, he will get cooked. He might panic, reach out for the wide receiver that's about to blaze by him, grab, and get called for defensive holding on some of his worst plays. And I think that he doesn't always get his body or head turned around in time in jump ball situations. He can get caught with just his hands up, driving the wide receiver backwards, get called for DPI. He was penalized 30 times throughout his college career.
Yeah.
21 of those penalties have come in the past 2 seasons.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So those are my fears.
Yes, and I see all those. Slower feet, change of direction, route breaks. Yeah, he's got that. When he's out of position, he doesn't have the speed to catch up, gets in a grabby panic, doesn't turn to locate the football. It's bad news. And then he relies on strength throughout the route to be sticky instead of technique in a fluid lower half. But I'll address all that in my comp after you give yours.
Sure, yeah. I just comped him to a cornerback the Steelers would love. He's not the fastest or quickest at all, but he's a tone setter at cornerback. He's tall, long, press man coverage who can use his arms to try to lock down wide receivers and is a willing tackler. So there are pros to his game, but the cons, the fact that he is a corner, and I want my corners to have speed and the ability to move, that scares me a lot.
Yeah, so Davison, Igbinosun, I saw a lot of JPJ in him. And that's not my
there you
comp.
go.
We keep talking about Steelers corners. I saw lots of JPJ in him, just physical, grabby, tries to get away with it. Most times, doesn't work out.
Yeah. And I do not like that player.
Yeah. But as my comp, well, you said you don't like that play. I'll just address that real quick. I think he does have a place in the league, and that place is for like big tight ends like Michael Trigg. I think he would be great for.
Yeah.
And then also bigger receivers that aren't very fast, but they just use physicality. I think he's great for that as well. But it's kind of a niche section there. But okay, finally my comp. So I see 3 possible outcomes here. The first one being that he becomes a pass interference machine in the league. The second being that he simply gets beaten by NFL receivers who are stronger than college receivers because his strength doesn't translate. And then the third one is the potential that I love. He masters technique and works on his lower half and is a dominant shutdown corner. That brings me to my comp of the possibility. So he's the possibility, although a very, very low chance of it, to be the next Richard Sherman with technique and footwork, or he becomes a bust. So to back up the Richard Sherman, at the combine, okay, size-wise, Igbinosun 6'2", Sherman 6'3". Igbinosun 189, Sherman 195. Igbinosun 33-inch arms, Sherman 32. At the combine, Igbinosun ran a 4.45 with a 1.58 10-yard split. Richard Sherman, as great as he was as a shutdown corner in the NFL, ran a 4.6 with a 1.61 10-yard split.
Where did he get drafted again?
5th round, pick 23 to the Seahawks.
Wow.
This guy was as slow as can be. I don't know how you even get drafted after running a 4.640 with a 1.61
as a corner,
10-yard split as a corner. But that shows exactly what Igbinosun can be. You don't have to be fast. You just have to be strong, impose your will with your 33-inch arms at the line of scrimmage. Get your hands on him early and control the entire rep while trying to not get pass interference called on you and just pissing off the receiver because you're bullying him. That's where I fall in love with the guy. Like I said, it's a very low possibility, but he's got everything he needs to do it.
True. I want to mention one more guy just real quick because I think he was kind of unique. Chris Johnson from San Diego State. 6 foot even, 193 pounds, 13.5/8 inch arms. I think that he's just overall a great athlete. Smooth footwork, natural movements, pretty quick, strong tackler. He can play inside or outside, in my opinion. His short area quickness is very good. He's able to follow the receiver and follow him close to quickly tackle whenever he needs to. There's just a lot to keep it short, there's just a lot to this guy that's like, in a way, almost a little boring. It's because whenever you watch him, to me, it feels like you're just watching a textbook corner. Like, this guy plays with confidence and control and is clearly very smart. It's just like, how do you play cornerback? And there's a lot that this guy does that he just does right. And I think he kind of flies under the radar because of that fact. But I don't want to let it go unseen. I mean, he's got a lot of very good traits about him for corner. Any pros you guys have to add?
I completely agree about being a boring corner. And my summary for him is a versatile corner that can do it all but lacks stickiness in the routes. And I think that because he's so versatile, he's just like boring, so he doesn't stand out anywhere. But to get into the pros, low stance, he smoothly mirrors the receiver until it's time to break downhill or flip his hips. He's got smooth hips, he can keep up with fast receivers, and he's a strong tackler in the open field. Kian?
Yeah, I completely agree with the tackling. Just a 5.4% missed tackle rate over his entire college career. I think he's really good at reading a play, too. And in zone or off-man coverage, reading, reacting. He knows how to bait quarterbacks and knows right when to jump passing lanes. He had 4 interceptions and 9 pass deflections in 2025. Those were all
2 of those interceptions were returned for touchdowns.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. But that's basically all I got for pros.
Yeah, so cons, after he flips his hips, I think it can be a little bit slow to reaccelerate, in my opinion. And I think that I'd like to see him look back for the ball a little bit more. He just kind of stays looking downfield, which could pose issues really for penalties in the NFL, but also just for getting cooked. I think that he can also get a little bit handsy and be bullied a little bit when he's going for jump balls against some of the bigger-bodied guys. So that's a little bit concerning too.
One of my biggest cons for him is he plays often with a very large cushion that NFL timing is going to exploit. And I think he may do this because he knows that he doesn't have great recovery speed once he gets behind.
Yeah.
So he's going to need to fix that up. And then sometimes he appears not quick nor sticky throughout the route, and he takes a moment to react and then follow the break. He's not really glued to the guy. And he sometimes relies on underthrown or badly timed balls to force incompletions. Terry Arnold style. It's like the ball's thrown behind the receiver, so then he gets the pass deflection as a highlight type of thing. So I don't know. I think he's versatile and he can do it all. He can help in run game, zone. Man, it's just he doesn't stand out anywhere. He's kind of boring because of that.
Yeah.
My comp for him is a con of enough, so it explains everything. Chris Johnson scares me because there's talk of him going in the back of the first round or maybe early second round, and I don't want that.
Me neither, to be honest.
He may go undrafted in our mock draft.
My comp for him is Terry Arnold 2.0.
Nice.
Meaning that I have just a little more hope in Johnson than I did Arnold. It feels disrespectful, but much like Terry Arnold coming out of Alabama, I have real fears that some of Chris Johnson's best plays are mostly because of poor quarterback play, which he will not see in the NFL very often.
True.
I don't think he's as good of an athlete in game as what he showed at the combine. Chris Johnson put up good numbers at the combine, and I just did not see that. Underwear Olympics, Carson.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think what Johnson is better at than Arnold was coming into the draft is his football IQ and his ability to read and react to the play.
Definitely.
But as for Chris Johnson and press man coverage, I don't think it's going to work in the NFL like what we've seen with Terry Arnold. I think he's an average athlete at best, and if he's going to, I just saw too many plays where he could have gotten exposed and was beat and then got saved by a bad throw because he was playing in the Mountain West.
Yeah.
I saw that a lot.
I have fears for Chris Johnson.
Yes.
Sure.
And I probably won't be drafting him. So.
Sure. Yeah. Neither will I, unless it's late. But, I'd just say I agree with your comment about Terry Arnold and getting bailed out, but I'd just describe him as average, versatile, and boring, like Cody said.
Yeah. Some teams just need that. Yeah. Someone will draft him.
He'd probably be one of the better corners on the Jets.
That definitely would be.
Yeah.
All right, that wraps this episode up. Almost knocked my mic over.
Yeah, punched it.
Yeah, I did. Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate it. Got a couple more of these to come, so stay tuned. Draft season is in full swing, and the draft is right around the corner.
It's upon us.
It's upon us. So stay tuned. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next episode.